After transmigrating into a canon fodder character in the 1980s, I trashed them all. Chapter 1, My Life, I Call the Shots. Yen Yen, only you can help your brother in our house now. It's because of Mom's face, you can help your brother. Wei Guichin smiled on her face and put a piece of meat in her daughter's bowl. Su Hanyan looked down at the piece of pork belly in the bowl, smiled and said, Mom, I can't help you with this. You still have to ask Gao Ming. Wei Guichin was taken aback, and the little daughter who had always been obedient refused to make concessions on this matter. Immediately, she knew that her daughter was reluctant, but for the happiness of her son, she still had to sacrifice her daughter's interests. After all, the daughter will marry sooner or later. The girl who married out was the water poured out and became a member of other people's family. Only a son can be by his side for a lifetime. She calculated this account very clearly. Yen Yen, please feel sorry for your brother. You also know that he likes Lin Jiqiu, and you really want to gouge the girl. Now, the girl finally agreed. People don't want the gift, don't make a ring of 3 turns, just a job. You will do them both. Then what about me? Su Hanyan raised his head, staring at Wei Guichin and asked, I did a good job at work, so I just let it go. What should I do? Hearing that her daughter seemed to have a sense of relief, Wei Guichin suddenly smiled on her face. Look at what you said, can your brother treat you badly? Isn't this also asking about a good family? Zhou's family knows the Zhou family's conditions are good, and there is only one son. If you are married, then you are going to enjoy the Qingfu. Enjoy Qingfu? Lie to the ghost. She knew all about the ins and outs of this matter, even the fate of everyone in the future. She didn't have the ability to predict the future, yes, it was because she was wearing a book. Speaking of this, it's incredible. A few days ago, she drank too much for attending a cocktail party. After she was sent back to the villa, she woke up and found herself in an 80s period essay and became the supporting actress Su Hanyan in the story. After recalling the plot of the book, she found that there were not many descriptions of the character Su Hanyan, but the few scenes had all the tortuous and bitterness of her short life. In the original text, the girl who Su Hanyan's third brother can't wait to dig his heart out is the hostess Lin Jiqiu. After graduating from high school, she did not enter the university, so she took care of her seriously ill father at home for 2 years. 2 years later, Father Lin died. Mother Lin was overwhelmed. She had an arm milled off by a lathe while working in the machinery factory. The hostess Lin Jiqiu was delayed because of taking care of her mother. It was replaced. The family can't survive without financial resources. In order to live on, she agreed to the proposal of Su Jingrui, the little Hutong who had been pestering her for 2 years, on the condition that she wanted a job. Where can I find a job this year? Whenever I have a job, my relatives will take it. If you buy a job from someone else, you will have to pay a lot of money. Who can pay so much money to buy a job? But Su Jingrui likes Lin Jiqiu. Wei Guichin loves the third child Su Jingrui the most, and he also likes this future daughter-in-law. She feels that this girl's long slender waist and big are the life of a kid. The family's eldest married has never been able to give birth to her grandson. So, she pinned her hopes on Lin Jiqiu. If Lin Jiqiu wants to work, someone will naturally surrender his work. Wei Guichin hit his mind on Su Hanyan. Of course, she was afraid that her daughter would let her poor job marry a dry meal at home, so she agreed to Zhou's marriage. Once this marriage was completed, Su Hanyan's life of tragic reminder began. Various dog blood incidents were staged in turn, and the bones and muscles of her husband's domestic violence were broken and he died. She asked her natal family for help, and her family stood by indifferently. In the end, she died, in despair. Lin Jiqiu and Su Jingrui also divorced and found the destined male lead. Under the protection of the male lead, she cooked food, opened a store, and became rich and embarked on the pinnacle of life. Therefore, in the original text, Su Hanyan is a super female canon fodder who has survived less than 20,000 words and less than 10 chapters, and she is one of the most tragic canon fodder in the book. After Su Hanyan entered the book, he still thought, what's the joke? At home, she is the treasure in the palm of her parents, the cusp of grandparents and grandparents. She is regarded by the family as a delicate existence with eyeballs. Isn't it a spoiled one? Nowadays, a life that has nailed her into someone else's life through a book is still such a miserable life. How does this work? Her life, she is the master. Wei Guichin has been discussing with her daughter, her mouth is dry, her throat is smoking, this girl is wandering, and she doesn't know what she is thinking. Yen Yen, did you hear what Mom said? She asked again. Well, I heard it. Su Hanyen put down the dishes, stretched her waist, and said with a curled mouth, I don't want to enjoy any good fortune. I still prefer to use my own hands to work in exchange for life. Seeing her daughter disagree, Wei Guichin sank his face. Why don't you know what you are saying? Being a mother can prevent you from becoming a mother? Then I won't go either. Su Hanyen killed him and disagreed. Whoever wants to marry, whoever marries, I won't marry anyway. You. Wei Guichin wanted to get angry, but in the end she held it back. She said patiently, well, let's give up your job to Lin Jiqiu, and mother will think about a better job than this. You will just be thinking about a job better than this when you look back. Rest at home and don't do anything. Mom keeps you. Didn't you fall for the woolen coat in the friendship department store a few days ago? As long as you give up your work, Mom will buy it for you. Seeing Wei Guichin coaxing her as a fool, Su Hanyen was delighted. She is not the original owner, and she won't be so easily at the mercy of others. Her job is better than others. She works in the propaganda department of the towing factory. On weekdays, she publishes blackboard newspapers and organizes employees to engage in activities. The work is not dirty or tired, and the salary is not low. So many people are staring. What about her job? If she loses this job, she will lose her source of income. What's more, what can you do if you have such an unreliable family and you have no money in your pocket? If this is the case, why don't you leave a job better than my job to your future daughter-in-law, Lin Jiqiu? Su Hanyen smiled and pushed the table and chopsticks in front of Wei Guichin. Mom, I'm tired. I went back to my house to rest. Su Jingrui, who had been smashing through the door outside the house, couldn't hold it anymore, and opened the door with a bang. The snow on the roof caused by such a big movement and static shaking was falling, and under the eaves, the red plums that were in full bloom were covered with a faint white layer. Su Hanyen was taken aback. Could you not be so surprised? It's so scared. After transmigrating into a canon fodder character in the 1980s, I trashed them all. Chapter 2, Hey, I have a bad temper. It's good to be scared to death, the province is talking nonsense with you. Su Jingrui glared at her sister, looking like an enemy. Su Hanyen, can you be a little sympathetic? What kind of job do you want, a girl? Marry a good family and do everything. What do you say? Why does she sound so uncomfortable? Su Hanyen raised her eyebrows. Yeah. What good work does a girl want? Then you tell your Lin Jiqiu to stop her from working. Why don't you raise her well and let her enjoy the happiness? Su Jingrui was stunned. He didn't expect this little girl film to have a temper and dared to talk back to him. He burst into anger. I told you that you have to give up this job, and you have to give up if you don't. This family is in charge of your mother, and it is not your turn to speak. Hey! Su Hanyen said with his hands on his hips, and said crisply, I have a bad temper. I can't make the decision of my marriage, you can't make the decision. I said I won't marry, and I won't let my work. What can you do to me? I think you have grown up and your wings become hard, right? Wei Guichin also didn't expect this girl to be so resistant to this matter. Don't you know what it is? I'll leave it here today, and you will marry me obediently. People, nothing. If you are disobedient and disturb your brother's relationship, you can leave me, and you won't be allowed in this family. Just leave. I won't live in the house, I will live in the workers' dormitory. She is not afraid that there is nowhere to go. Su Hanyen rushed out of the house, and went straight to his house. Wei Guichin was originally talking angry. She knew that Su Hanyen was soft-tempered and timid, so she was scared when she was scared, so she just wanted to scare this girl, let her be soft, and let her work out. Unexpectedly, she would still speak up. Mom, look. This girl obviously doesn't put you in his eyes. Su Jingrui took the opportunity to fan the flames, wishing that Wei Guiqin would take up a feather duster and give it a beating. You're right. If you don't let her suffer a bit, she will really go to heaven. Wei Guiqin rushed into Su Hanyan's room, stuck at the door, pointed her nose and cursed, you want to go? Go now, if you have the ability, go now. Quickly pack your things and leave. Don't spend it at home, I can't afford you anymore. How capable you are, you can be patient. I'm sorry, please. Su Hanyan dragged a box out from under the bed, opened the cabinet and stuffed the mess of clothes inside, and then walked outside. Her box smashed against the ground and made a rumbling noise. Everyone lived in a courtyard. When they heard something in the Su family, they came out of the house and gathered together to inquire about what was going on. Smoke, what are you doing with a suitcase this weekend? Yeah, what's the matter? Is it awkward again? Neighbors asked babbledly. My mother wants to chase me away. Su Hanyan faced the neighbors with a grieved expression, my brother is going to get married, and my future sister-in-law wants to work, so my mother and my brother asked me to give up my work, and forced me to get married. I am married to a second marriage partner. I disagree, my mother will drive me away. Uncles and aunts, my mother only has the happiness of my brother in her heart, regardless of her daughter's life or death. Before he left, Su Hanyan didn't forget to pit Wei Guiqin. Who made their mother and son bully people so much? The neighbors all over the yard are all accusing Wei Guiqin, the palms of the palms and the backs of the hands are all fleshy, how can the difference be so big? Even if he is patriarchal, he didn't push his daughter on the road to absolutes. Wei Guiqin had a good face, and her daughter's grievances screamed so badly that she couldn't hold back her face, so she immediately asked Su Jingrui to stop her. Su Hanyan, don't talk nonsense. Mom doesn't mean that. Su Jingrui immediately stopped in front of Su Hanyan, lowered his voice and said, you be honest, Mom loves face, you hurry up in front of the neighbors. Me honor apologized, saying that you were wrong. Let's consider our affairs longer. Su Hanyan smiled at Su Jingrui, dragged the box directly over his feet, dreaming. Dead girl. You. Su Jingrui raised his hand subconsciously. Su Hanyan immediately yelled, and her body shrank into a ball, my brother is going to hit me. I'm going, can't I go? Look at how this is a big brother. Why are you bullying a girl so much? Are you brothers and sisters, can you do things like this? Jingrui, your boss is not young anymore, don't learn from that ignorance. The neighbors all said that Su Jingrui's was not, but he was so angry that he couldn't get out. Brother, I'm really sorry. It doesn't matter how you bully me or squeeze me on weekdays. I love this job and don't want to entrust lifelong events to me. I'm really sorry, I'm leaving. Before leaving, Su Jingrui was sent to the army, and then they left. The people who left the entire yard were talking about the Su family, pointing to Wei Guiqin's mother as cruel and incompetent. After transmigrating into a canon fodder character in the 1980s, I trashed them all. Chapter 3, hit it off. Wei Guiqin closed the door with a sullen face and couldn't come out. She wondered, since when did this dead girl learn such a trick? Sure enough, the older the girl is, the more she won't stay, so she will make trouble if she stays at home. Su Hanyan dragged his suitcase to the factory. Today is the weekend, and there are not many people working in the factory. She walked through the production area and headed straight to the living area behind the factory. Behind rows of tall poplar trees, there was a slightly dilapidated white third floor. In winter, the leaves fell, and the bare trunks cast mottled shadows under the white walls under the winter sun. This is the dormitory for single workers. After she came over through the book, she met a girl named Zhu Lin from the trade union. She was 22 years old, with long bright eyebrows and big eyes. She was cheerful and enthusiastic. As soon as she saw it, the two chatted very much. The girl graduated from technical secondary school and lived in the factory dormitory for single workers. In the 1980s, technical secondary school students were divided into two categories. One is the technical secondary school after graduating from junior high school. The other type is the secondary school after graduating from high school, which is a 2-year system. This Zhu Lin was a secondary school after high school, and then she was assigned to a textile factory and lived in this single dormitory for 4 years. 4 people can live in a single dormitory. She happens to be the only one in that dormitory. All 3 beds are vacant. Su Hanyan will have a place to live after he has passed. She pulled the suitcase and knocked on the door of the singles dormitory. The girl was shocked when she saw her, and immediately greeted her with enthusiasm and smile. "Smoke, come in quickly." "Zhu Lin, I had some conflicts at home, so I moved out for the time being and want to live with you. I will file an application report with the factory soon." Su Hanyan explained. Zhu Lin said happily, "That's great. With you as my company, I won't be lonely in the future. Come, I will help you clean up." "Thank you. Then I will trouble you." In the process of tidying up the closet, the two talked casually. Su Hanyan learned more about this girl. This Zhu Lin was directly assigned to work in the cotton spinning factory in their city after graduation, and directly lived in a single dormitory. The same group of colleagues assigned to her got married and moved out of the single dormitory one after another. Originally, Zhu Lin was planning to get married at the end of this year. She broke up with her partner during some accidents, so she could only live here all the time. The loneliness of living alone for a long time, Su Hanyan's arrival really made her very happy. Su Hanyan was in a hurry when she came out and forgot to pack the bedding. She could only allocate the bedding after the factory approved her accommodation report. Zhu Lin took the initiative to lend her new bedding to Su Hanyan, saving her the trouble of going home again. After the bedding was laid, Su Hanyan went to clean the desk and found that there were 4 tables in the room, almost all of which were occupied by Zhu Lin, and all the desks were filled with books. She sat over and looked through a few books at random, and found that there were some high school textbooks and a few English exercise books. "You have graduated, do you still keep these books?" she asked casually. "Yeah." Zhu Lin said with some embarrassment, "I wanted to take the exam at the time. After studying for a while, the energy was lost, and I didn't plan to take the exam. These books were bought with money, and I couldn't bear it. I lost it so I kept it. Now it doesn't seem to be of any use. I'll just pack it up and give it away." Don't. Su Hanyan stopped her, "Since you want to take the night exam, then take the exam. You must take the exam. Although it is harder now, you will never regret it in the future." "Huh?" Zhu Lin didn't understand. After transmigrating into a canon fodder character in the 1980s, I trashed them all. Chapter 4, Get a Diploma. Su Hanyan smiled, and took out a few books from the suitcase, and put them on the table immediately. "Look, I also plan to take the night exam." The moment she broke with her family and dragged the box out, she was already ready. There was a lot of trouble in this house, and there was a lot of bad things. How could it be cleaner than in the dormitory? "Are you planning to take the Yeda exam?" Zhu Lin was surprised. "Why do you want to take the Yeda exam?" She wanted to take the Yeda exam, purely because she was stimulated. The subject who had been talking for 3 years was about to get married, but the boyfriend changed his mind halfway through, and healed with a female student who had just graduated from university. To put it bluntly, it is because they have taken a fancy to their high education and a brighter future. Although my technical secondary school degree is pretty good, how can I compare it with the graduates of other famous universities? As soon as they graduated, they were assigned to work in government agencies. In the future, it will not be comparable to ordinary people. That's why she wanted to take the exam for Yeda in a fit of anger. Yeda's diploma country admits that after graduation, she is also a college student, not to mention that she is better looking than that girl. Then she will go around in front of the sad man for a few laps, and he will regret it after seeing it. 4. Su Hanyan's eyes blinked twice and looked out the window, for the future. She has penetrated into a chronological book. The heroine of the original book, Lin Jiqiu, can cook delicious food with ingenuity, so she can go to the pinnacle of her life by setting up stalls and opening restaurants. She doesn't know how to cook. "Ever since I was a child, I have been spoiled by my family, and my hands are not touched by the sun. It is also very difficult to do a small business in the city of the 80s. Even if she opened a shop, she couldn't do business without the craftsmanship. Moreover, this era is still a planned economy, and the country has been fighting against speculation. For example, Seoul has more noodles and less rice, while Jiangqing has more rice and less noodles. If you want to transport the noodles from Seoul to Jiangqing to sell, you can make a difference through transportation. That would be bad, you are speculating and disrupting the market economy, and vice versa. Therefore, if you want to do business, it is not an easy task. The so-called starvation to death of the timid is to support the bold. If you are not afraid, you can engage in this activity. But it's not for Su Hanyan. If their working family is caught, it will not only be bad luck for themselves, but also hurt others. There is only one way, which is to take an exam and get a diploma. Moreover, for more than 30 years since then, the country has paid more and more attention to talents with high academic qualifications, and there will be a craze for examinations in the future. So, starting from the learning aspect, it's okay. What's more, she used to study well in the real world, but she is more than enough to deal with exams in this era, right? Future. Zhu Lin hurriedly asked, what future? Isn't our current job already very good? How many people envy our job? Isn't the future the same? No. Su Hanyan turned her head to look at her and said, Zhu Lin, you see that the country now attaches great importance to these scholars and is already sending us a powerful signal, the era of knowledge in the future. Junior high school is more popular than elementary school, high school it's better to graduate than junior high school students, and college students are even rarer. The times change so fast, how can you live without studying? You believe me, try the exam. Anyway, there is a better job waiting for you, and you can't pass the exam. What a great job. After she said so, Zhu Lin's heart that had already disappeared gathered again. Su Hanyan is right, so let's take the test anyway. After transmigrating into a canon fodder character in the 1980s, I trashed them all. Chapter 5, Propaganda Branch Morning Meeting. That's it. Zhu Lin gritted her teeth, then take the test. Great. Su Hanyan has already inquired that if he wants to take the night college or correspondence university, he is a full-time employee, a high school degree, and has more than 5 years of service. By the time of next year's exam, she will have exactly 5 years of service. Therefore, this job is still very important to her, which is why she said that she would not give up the job. When we sign up, let's go together. Zhu Lin said with a little excitement. Success. Su Hanyan agreed. If you sign up, you won't be able to go until next year. This year, I will borrow the book and review it first. Early the next morning, Su Hanyan lay in the office of the propaganda department, wrote an application report to the factory, and applied for a single employee dormitory for himself. After she wrote it, she sent the application report to the logistics office. After she came back, she saw the section chief convening a meeting with 2 of Corey's propaganda officers. The 3 people gathered around the briquette stove in the house to discuss the new instructions in the factory. When section chief Nyo Hongxia saw her back, she waved her hand and signaled her to come quickly. Han Yan, hurry up with your notebook, we have a new job recently, let me set up a task. Okay. Su Hanyan walked in quickly, picked up the notebook, pulled over a stool and gathered around. It was icy and snowy outside, but the house was still warm inside, the briquette stove was burning vigorously, and there was a pot of hot water sitting on the stove rim, chucking hot. When Su Hanyan listened to the section chief's speech, his frozen hand surrounded the roadside to warm himself. Isn't it coming to New Year's Day soon? The factory said that this year's benefits are very good. On New Year's Day, I want to hold a party to boost the morale of our factory workers. This task is left to us, and there is still a month left. Preparation time, I hope you will work hard this month, go down to the various workshops to make statistics, and use your spare time to arrange programs. Leader, rest assured. We promise to complete the task. Lin Qingyu stood up from the stool arrogantly, and immediately stood up with her legs at attention, and shouted out loud with a straight chest. The sound was very loud, and Su Hanyan jumped. Okay. Great. Nyo Hongxia nodded in satisfaction, then looked at Su Hanyan and another male comrade named Jiangqua. What about you? Have confidence. He also immediately got up to express his stance. Section Chief, I have a question. Instead of expressing his position, Su Hanyan considered the current difficulties more. There are 5 comrades in our department. Sister Zhang went home to have a baby. Sister Qi is sick and hospitalized. It doesn't seem to be enough. You can find the union for secondment when you look back. Okay. There is another question. Su Hanyan continued to ask, can't we still do the blackboard newspaper in that factory? Do it. Of course you must do it. Pay attention to this work, and you can't ignore other tasks. Understood. After Niu Hongxie finished speaking, she closed her notebook, inserted a pen into her chest pocket and stood up and said, have a good job, this party is done, and the factory will award awards to our department. Year-end awards are indispensable. Yes, Section Chief, everyone said in unison. Okay, let's work next. As soon as the Section Chief left, Lin Qingyu took the initiative to win over Jianghua. The two murmured together for a long time, talking about what program to prepare, how to prepare, and what workshop to interview. The two discussed together, picked up the notebook and walked out. After transmigrating into a canon fodder character in the 1980s, I trashed them all. Chapter 6, No Less Bullying. Wait. Su Hanyan stopped the two of them and said, since we are preparing for the show, let's discuss it together. Let's see what the theme of our party is. What kind of stage effect should the show show? How many are prepared? You don't need to worry about this. Lin Qingyu smiled and said to Su Hanyan, you don't talk much on weekdays, and you don't know how to communicate with others. I don't think you can do anything about collecting programs in the workshop. You still go draw a blackboard newspaper. Su Hanyan. In the memory of the original owner, Lin Qingyu was very unfriendly to Su Hanyan on weekdays. Propaganda Corey's showy thing is that she does it herself, like running errands in the summer, drawing a blackboard under the sun, and all these hard work are pushed to Su Hanyan. Every time after the blackboard newspaper finished drawing, she pointed to the blackboard newspaper, instructed the original owner to change it over and over again, and finally took all the credit to herself. This is really bullying. Is this bad? Su Hanyan retorted directly, there are 4 blackboards in the factory. 1 at the gate, 2 in the production area, and 1 in the living area. I can't do it alone. It's very hard for the 2 of us to prepare for a party. When is it now? Do you still care about this? The division of labor is reasonable, understand? The blackboard newspaper is not worth mentioning, and it doesn't take up everyone's energy, you one person is enough. Lin Qingyu relied on his usual power, and couldn't get through with Su Hanyan everywhere. Understand, since this is the case, we must join together and brainstorm together. What kind of brainstorming? Don't say it, just go to draw a blackboard newspaper. Yes, Hanyan, you are good at that. Then go. Jianghua also stood on the same line with Lin Qingyu. You are not stupid. The cold wind and snow fall in the winter, and I will stand all day alone. It's like coldness, and it's warm when you prepare a program to drill inside the house. Since no one wants to write the blackboard newspaper, then I will tell the section chief directly, you all hate this job, afraid of getting dirty, afraid of tired, afraid of cold. Since they are not afraid of embarrassment, Su Hanyan directly pierced the skin, and didn't talk much to them. Just pick up the notebook and go out. At the end of the year, Lin Qingyu had to rely on the selection of advanced individuals, and the accusation went on and let her take a break. Lin Qingyu was stunned. What did she say? She said she was going to sue the head of the department. Jianghua swallowed and said, when did she become so powerful? Quickly, stop her. Can't let her go. Lin Qingyu said and rushed out. It's almost the end of the year, and the advanced individual will be selected. She can't let Su Hanyan ruin her good deeds. Before Su Hanyan took 2 steps, Lin Qingyu caught up and said directly, what a big deal, isn't it just a blackboard? Let's do it together. The division of labor must be clear. Either divide it according to the number of 1 to 5, or divide it according to the number of blackboards. Su Hanyan raised his eyebrows directly. Everything is up to you. Lin Qingyu said impatiently, go, go down to the workshop to collect the program list and materials, and report back to the blackboard before discussing it. It's almost the same. Su Hanyan agreed. As soon as the three people discussed the matter, Section Chief Nyo Hongxia turned back. Lin Qingyu was fortunate that she reacted quickly, otherwise it would be inappropriate to make trouble in front of the section chief. Su Hanyan. Nyo Hongxia called to Su Hanyan to go with her. When the two of them came to a place where no one was there, she said, "Tell you something, your brother came to the factory to look for you. Say your father suddenly I went to the hospital with a sudden illness, let you go quickly. After transmigrating into a canon fodder character in the 1980s, I trashed them all. Chapter 7, reluctant to die. Father? Sudden illness. Yes. People are waiting for you at the entrance of the factory. Go there quickly. You are allowed to take a 3-day vacation. You don't need to worry about things at work. You will come back to work after you finish dealing with family affairs." The section chief was a nice person, so he gave her a holiday. "Thank you, section chief." Su Hanyan was very grateful. "Then I'm leaving now." Go, family matters matter." Nyo Hongxia waved to her. Su Hanyan immediately ran to the entrance of the factory. It had just snowed yesterday, and she almost slipped and fell several times along the way, but she did not dare to slow down. If she remembered correctly, this serious illness would cause Su Dajiang to die directly. In the original text, there are not many descriptions of Su Dajiang. Around 1970, he responded to the call of the state to support the construction of the lower third line in the southwest. It was 7 or 8 years after he left. On the day he came back, Su Hanyan agreed to the Zhou family's marriage in the original text, and rushed to meet the Zhou family's son on a blind date. He had a sudden illness, and neither father nor daughter could meet each other before they died. The original owner still had a lot of affection for this father. Hearing that his father had passed away due to illness, she fainted when her eyes went dark. Su Hanyan found that there was a living oasis in the bleak and gloomy memories of the original owner's life, and it was also her happiest memory, the daily bits of getting along with her father. He taught her hand in hand to write the first Chinese character, took her to the zoo to play, he used a rough and clumsy hand to comb her hair for the first time, and brought back beautiful candies every time she traveled. Although trivial, they are all precious to her. Memory. Su Hanyan was touched by these memories, and deep in her heart she couldn't bear to die this man with deep father's love. Perhaps, because of his existence, this family will help her more or less. Even if there is no big help, it is a life, at least a kind life. Su Hanyan arrived at the entrance of the factory and saw his third brother Su Jingrui wearing a big gray cotton-padded jacket, smoking anxiously beside the bicycle beside the snowdrift. "How's Dad?" Su Jingrui heard her talking, dropped the cigarette in her hand and stood up. The first sentence was to accuse her, "How did you come out? Are you a snail? Woke up in the morning to take gunpowder? Can you speak?" Su Hanyan glared at him, patted the bicycle seat and said, "If you have that kung fu nonsense, don't hurry to the hospital. Will you command me?" Su Jingrui squeezed his neck and raised his brows. Su Hanyan looked at him, angry and funny, really wanted to give him a slap. What time was it, and she was still competing with her, not knowing what to prioritize. However, she didn't have time to talk nonsense with him. "You won't go, are you?" "I'll go." She drove on the brace, stepped directly on the 28-bar bike, and walked forward. "You." Su Jingrui was out of anger, ran a few steps, grabbed the back seat of the car, gritted his teeth and said, "It's the opposite of you, right? I quarreled with us yesterday and learned to run away. I didn't go home all night, today. Just stick with me when you meet. You come down. Are you going?" Su Hanyan stopped, put his head on the ground, looked up at him. "Dad is suffering in the hospital, you quarrel with me here? Is it appropriate? Go and go." Su Jingrui admitted. "Now is not the time to wait until Dad gets better, let's see how he cleans up this girl." Su Jingrui rode the bicycle, Su Hanyan leaped lightly and jumped to the back seat of the car, facing the rising sun and the bitter cold wind towards the Municipal People's Hospital. After transmigrating into a canon fodder character in the 1980s, I trashed them all. Chapter 8, Emergency. The hospital early in the morning was crowded with patients. They come from all corners of the world, and they all came here with the name of the First People's Hospital in Beijing. Here are the best medical resources across the country, doctors with the best medical skills, and the most advanced equipment. When the two brothers and sisters arrived, the emergency hall of the hospital was already full of people. The environment was very nervous and noisy. The doctors were very busy. The groans of patients, the cries of family members, and the ups and downs were everywhere. Constant telephone ringing. "Where is Dad?" Su Hanyan turned around and asked Su Jingrui without seeing Su Dajiang. "I don't know, look for it." Su Jingrui was also anxious. "Will you enter the operating room?" "What's wrong with Dad?" "I don't know, this is just after getting off the train and arriving home. I said that I was uncomfortable. I didn't eat a few bites for breakfast and I said my stomach hurts, and then said that it hurts. So we rushed to the hospital." "Didn't you go to the department? Why did you come to the emergency room?" "It's not that Dad has passed out from the pain." "Got it." Su Hanyan was searching in the crowded hall, and suddenly heard a voice shouting, "Yan Yan, Jing Rui, here, we are here." She followed the prestige and saw in one corner, where the Su family was crowded. She ran over and saw Su Dajiang lying on the simple hospital bed. He closed his eyes, frowned slightly, the hair on the sideburns was gray, and his face was full of the vicissitudes of life after countless winds and frosts. "This is the father of the original owner." "Dad!" Su Hanyan called out softly. Su Dajiang seemed to hear the sound, his eyelids lifted slightly, and when he saw his daughter Su Hanyan, his eyes softened instantly, and then he closed his eyes again and fell into a coma. This situation seems to be very serious. If it is not treated in time, it is very likely that the situation in the original text will occur, and Su Dajiang will hang in this hospital. "Have you called a doctor?" She raised her head and asked Wei Guiqin. "Called," the doctor said later, "the emergency room is a bit busy now. They can't take care of it, or let me go to the department to register first." Wei Guiqin also looked anxious. But she can only be in a hurry and can't do anything. "The third child, you can urge the doctor again." The eldest brother Su Jingheng said, "You are brave and not timid. Go and find a doctor." Yeah. Su Jingrui scratched his head with a look of irritability. "Before I went to pick up Su Hanyan, didn't I always urge you? You have also seen that, people don't have time to talk to me at all, they can only wait. What can I do?" Wei Guiqin was crying anxiously. "I'll go." Su Hanyan got up, looked at a doctor who was rushing over, and caught him. "Doctor, go and see my dad. He didn't eat breakfast and said his stomach hurts, and it hurts all the time now. I'm in a coma. People are over there." "Painful coma? Acute appendicitis, right? You should go to the department to register and prescribe medicine for infusion. It should be treatable," the doctor said, looking out. "No, my dad is definitely not the problem. Go and see, you will die soon." Su Hanyan is convinced that if it is acute appendicitis, he is definitely not dead if he is sent to the hospital in such a timely manner. Ken is another emergency. However, the original author did not write in the article to understand the symptoms, so she can only guess that it should be serious. After transmigrating into a canon fodder character in the 1980s, I trashed them all. Chapter 9, Life-Saving Straw. As soon as Su Hanyan finished speaking, the ambulance was parked outside, the emergency room door was wide open, and a group of nurses and doctors pushed the patients in anxiously. "Quick! A serious car accident, the patient is bleeding heavily, and his heartbeat keeps dropping. I have a problem with the operation of this workshop, and the steel rod is inserted into my chest." The doctor waited for the patient who got in and out of the ambulance. When he left, he hung up his stethoscope and greeted him. At the end, he was not allowed to remind Su Hanyan, "Go to the department to register." Because of the arrival of these two patients, the emergency room became a mess. Su Hanyan is also very heady when he sees this situation. Maybe they don't have any trauma in this situation, they don't scream in pain, they don't bleed, and they don't scare people. They lie quietly in the corner, so they won't cause others attention. No, she has to find a way. She stood in the hall and looked around, trying to find a doctor who was not so busy, even a nurse, but unfortunately, she was disappointed. Is it possible that Su Dajiang's destiny cannot be rewritten? When she was in a hurry, suddenly a woman's shrill voice came into her eardrum, "Dr. Jean, are you off work? Walk slowly on the road." Dr. Jean. Su Hanyan hurriedly followed the prestige, only to see a slender man with a strong back appeared in her vision. This should be the Dr. Jean who just got off work. She rushed over and stopped the man directly. The life or death of her father is uncertain, and any doctor who appears in her vision may be a life-saving straw she can grasp. Dr. Jean. Su Hanyan shouted loudly. Jean Chen stopped and looked at the excited, crimson-looking woman in front of him, and raised his eyebrows slightly. Huh? Please save my dad. It has been a while since he entered the emergency room, and he has not been able to get medical attention. He is about to coma. If you don't care about him, his life may not be guaranteed. Su Hanyan pleaded urgently. Jean Chen raised his hand and rubbed the corners of his forehead, his eyes clearly showing exhaustion. He pursed the corners of his slightly pale lips, and his voice was a little cold. Let's go. These details have fallen into Su Hanyan's eyes. It seems that this doctor should be on the night shift for one night, right? It should be very tired. However, she has no time to take care of this. It is better to have a doctor than none. Jean Chen quickly adjusted his state and strode in the direction Su Hanyan was pointing. Su Hanyan trot all the way behind him. The man's legs were too long. He took a step. She estimated that it would take a split-splitting range to keep up. When Jean Chen came to Su Dajiang, he saw that the patient's painful face was sweaty, his lips were pale, his brows were tightly furrowed, and occasionally he let out a painful moan, but the movement was not very loud. Stethoscope. He said concisely. What? Go to the nurse's desk and get a stethoscope, he ordered in a cold voice. Su Hanyan turned around and ran, and soon the stethoscope was in his hand. He lowered his eyes, his thick eyelashes quivered gently, and he listened carefully. His heartbeat was fast and his lungs were breathing fast. Afterwards, he took off the stethoscope, lifted Su Dajiang's coat, pressed his abdomen with slender and beautiful fingers, and watched the reaction of the other party with his eyes. The other party's expression was obviously painful, with strong resistance, and a flat belly appeared. Have you ever vomited? He raised his eyes. I vomited very badly. I don't know what's wrong. I vomited when I vomited after breakfast. Wei Guiqin anxiously explained what he knew. Staring at the doctor, he asked, Doctor, what's wrong with my man? Is it serious? Jean Chen replied, and then he checked Su Dajiang's legs again. There was obvious swelling in those legs. According to his judgment, the symptoms were clear. Doctor. Wei Guiqin wanted to cry anxiously. Jean Chen Qingxing said, it is preliminary judged that acute intestinal perforation may also cause signs of poisoning and infection. Surgery is needed. After transmigrating into a canon fodder character in the 1980s, I trashed them all. Chapter 10, Genius Surgeon. Huh. Wei Guiqin took 2 steps back and almost fell and was supported by Su Jingheng. He hung the stethoscope around his neck, turned and left like a gust of wind. Su Hanyan hurriedly followed. I saw him standing next to the nurse desk in the emergency hall and picked up the phone, call a few people down, and move fast. A patient in his 50s who was infected with acute intestinal perforation and was seriously ill. Hearing that he had helped arrange the surgical examination, Su Hanyan gradually let it go with his heart lifted. Soon, Su Dajiang was sent to the operating room, and the Su family was waiting anxiously in the corridor. Wei Guiqin only shed tears of worry. Su Jingrui hugged her shoulders and comforted her softly, it's okay, my dad will definitely be fine. People have their own natural appearances, don't worry. The eldest brother Su Jingheng squatted on the ground silently, staring at the large door of the operating room and wondering what he was thinking. Su Hanyan was sweaty. She was going out to get some air. When she passed the nurse's station, she heard several young girls talking. Dr. Jean has been working continuously for 36 hours, and he has entered the operating room again. Even the iron-beating people can't support it, right? Yeah, I have been busy from last night until now, I haven't even eaten breakfast. But Dr. Jean is really handsome, especially with his hands. TSK, mesmerized. You say, Dr. Jean is a medical genius, he is only 25 years old, he has extraordinary achievements that ordinary people can't achieve. I heard that I was very good when studying abroad. Jean Shen. 25 years old, returned from studying abroad. Su Hanyan's eyes jumped for a while, she seemed to know who this doctor was. This is the genius doctor mentioned in the original text, who performed surgery on the original owner. After the original owner married Zhou Ziyuan, the son of the Zhou family, he continued to encounter domestic violence. He did not allow her to talk to strangers, forbid her to work, and even in the summer he did not allow her to show a trace of clothes except her face. After she became pregnant, Zhou Ziyuan vomited blood because she went home with her brother-in-law and said many things on the way. Zhou Ziyuan directly broke 4 ribs and punctured her spleen. The fetus was aborted in the abdomen. After being sent to the hospital, she died in pain. The doctor who performed the operation on her happened to be Dr. Jin Shen. Su Hanyan vaguely remembered 2 conversations. Original owner, don't save me, let me die, it's too painful. Jin Shen, don't give up, only if you are alive will everything be possible. Persevere. When Su Hanyan saw the description of this character at the time, she liked the character in her heart. In the original text, he did not appear many times, but each time he saved the patients in a calm and composed manner and superb surgical skills. The reason why he was able to achieve such a great achievement at a young age is because he has a national treasure-level grandfather of Chinese medicine and a father of military doctors with the best medical skills. He should have inherited excellent genes, coupled with acquired efforts, so will have this achievement. There will never be any problems with him saving his father. Su Hanyan was really relieved this time, with a faint smile on his face. After several hours of surgery, Su Dajiang was pushed out of the operating room. The operation was very successful. As long as no infection occurred after the operation, his life would be saved. The Su family breathed a sigh of relief and pushed Su Dajiang to the ward. Jin Shen took off the sterile surgical gown and changed back to a white lab coat. It has been more than 40 hours since he closed his eyes last time, and bruises appeared under his eyelids. When he returned to the office, he sat down on the chair tired.